Hi, I'm Jeremy Crosby.
And I'm Nick Boucher. We're your hosts for the program that's all about your city, Talking Fitchburg.
Every weekday, we pull together the news, events, and information you need to stay on top of what's happening in the city of Fitchburg.
Find Talking Fitchburg on cable TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and our live stream on the web. Plus, you can find all our headlines and stories on Facebook, YouTube, and our video on demand service. This is your city.
Keep up with Talking Fitchburg and the issues affecting you and your neighbors.
Get connected, Fitchburg. We're launching Fitchburg Connect, the city's new monthly e-newsletter that keeps you informed about all the events, services, and updates that matter to you. Get it in your inbox once a month. Sign up today to get Fitchburg Connect.
Here we go. Good evening. Today is May 27, 2026 at 5:15, and I'm calling to order the Community Equity Advisory Committee meeting for the City of Fitchburg. So I'd like to take a motion to number one. I'm sorry, getting all mixed up. Agenda item number 2. We look at the approval of minutes from April 22nd, 2026.
Move to approve.
Second. Okay, and all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And any objection? Great, that passes. Great, and Sarah, item number 3, do we have any public appearances for non-agenda items?
No public appearances for non-agenda.
Great, thank you. Well, why don't we jump right into the agenda? We do have a meeting today with the city's DEI Employee Resource Group, so thank you for being here. And this is more, I don't think we really have any agenda items, really just to meet you and talk about the work that you're doing. And why don't we open the floor with you? Maybe you can introduce yourselves, and we'll introduce ourselves, and then talk about maybe some of the initiatives that we're working on and maybe where we connect. Who would like to start?
Okay, so hi, I'm also Sarah. I'm Sarah Massa-Myers. I work in HR. I'm an administrative shared clerk. I really work in multiple departments, but I work in the ERG, and I help with putting up a lot of those display cases, if you guys ever look at them down the hallway. I'm the printer and stapler. So that's what I do.
Do we mind also just sharing our pronouns as well?
She, hers. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm Anna Healy. I'm the urban forester and naturalist here for the city. So I work now in public works, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having us. And I am also she, her.
And Sarah Olson, HR, she, her as well. And I've been on since 2020 when it was created.
Just keep going around the room.
All right, great. I'm Jessica Arendas. I'm part of this committee as of September last year, and I use she, her pronouns, and I have a couple of certificates in this work, and I'm excited to just continue growing that vision and working with all of them.
My name is Colleen Butler. I also use she, her pronouns, recent member of this committee. My work is in the area of equity and inclusion. I'm currently part of a small consulting cooperative called the NINA Collective, and we do equity and inclusion work as well as community engagement. And before that, I was with YWCA Madison doing kind of similar work. So I'm very excited to be part of the committee. And nice to meet you all. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Christopher Picaro, he, him, resident of Fitchburg for about 5.5 years now, from Seattle. I'm the chair for the committee, was part of the ad hoc committee before we were the official committee, so I've been doing work for Fitchburg for a little while now. Also sit on the Parks Committee, so connection there with park equity. But come to this work with private sector, nonprofit sector, and primarily in the public sector, where I worked most recently at Seattle City Light, doing helping establish the environmental equity program and doing equity work, DEI work for 20 plus years. So glad to be a resource and do that work for City of Fitchburg.
Hi, I'm Bill Gillespie, he, him, and I am one of the original members of this committee. I've been on for a few years now, and been in Fitchburg for about 5 years. Came here to retire and be near one of my children. Always dreamed of being retired here in the city, and just always wanted to do that. It feels good to me. It's a lot of like-minded people here like me, so I just really enjoy that. I have 2 children out of my 3 in the LGBTQ plus community, so I have a stake in a lot of things that have to do with community equity and things of that nature as well. So, former principal, former teacher, higher ed, both K-12, done a lot of things with kids. So, and I'm going to actually do some more, so I'm volunteering.
Well, hi, I'm Chase. I am a new Fitchburg resident. I just crossed my 1-year mark actually this week, so that's exciting.
Congratulations.
Thanks, yeah. I'm also just a young professional in the area, and I did a lot of this work in higher education at University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. And so it's an important lens for me to take, and I wanted an opportunity to give back to the city that I've really enjoyed living in, even in just a short period of time, and there was an opening, so here I am.
I'm Journey, police officer. I've been working here for like 3 years on June 2nd. Been on ERG for almost 1.5 years, I think. But yeah, enjoying my time.
Great.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you. We'll go on screen to Janice.
Hello, everyone. My name is Janice Hughes, and I am a long-term resident of Fitchburg, almost 29 years. I am a retired human resource professional with a lot of work as well in equity. I am also a commissioner for the Senior Center. I also am on the steering committee for housing, and I'm a member of the ad hoc team for equity as well. So I look forward to continuing our work, and it's nice meeting all of you.
Thanks, Janice. Next, Stephanie.
Hi, my name is Stephanie. I work in the clerk's department. I'm a municipal clerk assistant, and my pronouns are she, her, ella.
Thank you. Jeremy.
There we go. Sorry. I have like 10 screens open. The technology guy. Jeremy Crosby, communications manager for the city of Fitchburg. Sorry I couldn't be there. I'm doing 2 meetings at once because I'm coaching the kids' baseball team. So they have a meeting here in like 20 minutes. So my apologies. But thank you for the work you're doing. And this team is amazing.
Great. Are we missing anyone? Was there anyone that missed?
Yeah, so we are missing, so we have about 9 of us on the team, so not everyone can make it tonight, but yeah, we've got Jada Flannery, she's one of our building inspectors, and then we've got, let's see, Susie Jones from the Senior Center, Katie Bogacki from the Senior Center, and then Wah Henijos from the police department. So those are the members missing. Did I miss anybody? Okay.
Well, excellent. Again, I would just love to open the floor and maybe you can talk about the employee resource group, and we're happy to share some of the work that we're doing as a equity committee on the community side. But whoever would like to.
We put a presentation
great.
together for you.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely.
100%. Absolutely. All right. Well, I'll get started. We're all going to kind of take turns, but we started back in 2020. So it was our first employee resource group here at the city of Fitchburg. We had never had ERGs before, so we put a new policy together to be able to create an ERG, and the DEI was the first one. So we actually had some of our original, the OGs, are Katie Bogacki, Susie Jones, and then Juan Henijos. They've been on since the very first meeting. And then we have some members who have actually left the city of Fitchburg. I do want to name them because, they were instrumental in starting this up. So that was Yesenia Ars, Claudia Guy, Amy Mercer, Lisa McNabala, Jeff Wissink, Jesus Villagomez, Midu Guy, and then there's 2 members that are still at the city of Fitchburg, but they're just not on the team anymore. That's Mandy Miller and Phil Groupie. So sometimes time commitments it can be a struggle, but every single person who's been able to be on ERG has had a big part in making what it is today. So yeah, we put together a little presentation for you. So let me get onto my screen here, and I'm going to turn it over to Stephanie.
No.
All right. So this is our mission. We came up. We are constantly evolving our mission. I know since I've been on the ERG, we've changed wording here and there. But for now, our mission is we promote equity and social justice and create change through education awareness. We strive to ensure our employees feel they belong and are welcome, respected, and heard.
We've kind of already gone over this, but these are the members of our ERG currently, and you can see we do represent from across City Hall and from across many different departments, which is really important. So we have a lot of different perspectives that come to bear on the work that we're doing. And part of what we're doing is we're trying to offer employees the ability to really thrive here at Fitchburg. We want to be a great place to work, and we also want to be one of the best places to work in the area. We also want to be the best when we're here at work. And a big part of that is just offering a lot of professional development and training to employees here at the city. And these are some examples of some things that we've been able to do in the last several years. Dr. Gee's Black History training, we did that in 21 for department heads and members of the ERG. The Step Up Equity Matters Accelerator, that's been something that we've also done, relatively recently. We did put together an interview and recruitment skills program, to kind of influence how we're hiring. And of course, we do reach out to other municipalities and take lessons from what's working elsewhere in the area.
A lot of the ERG members have been trained on how to interview and the different biases that come into play. So we've been able to tap into ERG members to sit on interview panels to help us have a more balanced panel. So it's been nice.
I know that you've also extended those to community members that are for diverse perspective from community as well. So,
absolutely. Yeah, community members often sit on panels. Bill was our latest with the career firefighter. All right, and then sharing knowledge across our organization. So we've had different types of trainings. When we first started, Mandy Miller, she works in the senior center. She put together a microaggressions training, and we held that for all staff. That was really good training. And then we participated in United Way's 21-week equity challenge. This was a free challenge, and this was probably more back in COVID times that we did that. And then the cultural celebrations and education, this team does so much awareness of the different types of months or celebratory days when it comes to whether it's raising the flag. Susie Jones, who is in our ERG, she was the one that bought our first Juneteenth flag. She helped chose it, and then she is one of the reasons why we were able to raise the flag. Being able to have Juneteenth as a city recognized holiday was also from the ERG. So it's been exciting to see some of the things that come out of it, but all of the members do a lot of work with just getting communications out. Like Sarah is one of our go-tos on getting communications out. So she already has an all-staff email drafted on Pride Month and Juneteenth, and then what are the activities, whether it's internally or in the community too. She also puts together what books to read. I mean, there's just a ton of great information that she sends out. So yeah, that's a little bit about how we share knowledge across to other employees.
So these are just a few things that the ERG has accomplished in our time. Excuse me. First one is the Juneteenth recognition, which Sarah briefly mentioned. Susie really spearheaded that, and in 2021 we were able to raise our Juneteenth flag and then establish it as an official city holiday. So in conjunction with that, I know the Senior Center has also put on a lot of really great events for the public, and they're doing something again this year, so it's been nice to support them with that. and the bilingual incentive program. So any employees who have a bilingual ability are able to be certified and then utilize an incentive for when they're using that on the job. And then a trainee designation is really great. So when we have applicants who may not quite hit that minimally qualified mark, we're able to hire them on and then provide them that training to meet those qualifications and then bring them up to that level of qualified status, I suppose, but they're still hired and still working here, so we're giving them that step up that they deserve when they're being hired. So yeah.
And the bilingual incentive, it's 50 cents for all hours paid, so it's not even based on how often you use it. We know it's an additional skill set. We want to reward employees who are able to speak in Spanish, Hmong, or sign language. Those are the three that they identified as predominant in Fitchburg.
Wish that existed.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Right.
We had something similar in Seattle.
Yeah. And that was spearheaded by Juan, who isn't here, but he was the part of that work group that put the policy together and then presented it to our administration. So it was neat. Everything's been kind of spearheaded by the team. And then our hiring practices too. So as you know, we have the equitable hiring tool from GARE. So we've definitely utilized that hiring tool throughout the years, particularly for like department head recruitments and then more challenging recruitments where we had to repost because we didn't get the right candidates or something just didn't seem right with our recruitment. So we use the hiring tool. Ideally, it'd be great to use the hiring tool for every single recruitment, but we're not there yet. And then we have a new buddy program. So when we have new hires, this team put together this concept of new buddy where you couple them with someone who's in a different department so that they can feel more welcomed here, because once you get people in, how do you get them to stay, right? You want them to feel comfortable and get to know kind of what the workplace culture is like beyond the employee handbook. And then we actually had a group that went through the employee handbook and did an equity review, removed like he, she in terms of like gender, made it more gender neutral with the pronouns, and looked at other types of policies that we had in there and provided some input, and then we took those updates to the personnel committee. Lastly, listening to our employees. So we did a workplace culture survey last year. We got results with that along with a engagement survey. It was the city's first ever engagement survey. So we started doing some action planning. We identified that we want to do some listening sessions. Right now we're just trying to work with administration on what those listening sessions would look like and what do we do with the feedback that we receive. So there's a little more to come on that. And we're looking probably at more like fall-ish. I think we're gonna have to do it, but we're going through a couple of software changes in HR, so we don't have the capacity to do that right now, but hopefully for fall. And then Stephanie is gonna take the last one.
All right, so building our future together, I guess the journey to equity and inclusion is ongoing, kind of like what I mentioned in our mission. We're always changing it. We want to make sure that we are evolving with our needs that we need in the city of Fitchburg. Every policy is updated, every voice is heard, and every celebration shared brings us closer to a workplace where everyone truly belongs. The ERG remains committed to driving continuous improvement, learning, and action. Together, we're creating a city of Fitchburg that reflects the rich diversity of our community and honors the contributions of every employee.
That's our presentation for you. Thank you, everybody. Do you have any questions for us?
I just want to make a comment that thank you for all that you are doing as a group. I know there's a lot of internal focus, but it impacts the community externally, the work that you're doing. And I think, between the Community Equity Advisory Committee and the Employee Resource Group, this is a really important connection. I think that we really should continue and make sure that we're communicating both our priorities and initiatives as we're moving forward, but also hear what your priorities and initiatives are so we can work together on that. But I think that this cohesion is super, super, super important as the city grows and we really establish an impactful program all the way around. So thank you all for your, number one, service as civil servants, and then the work this is an additional layer to that, making sure that our civil servitude is equitable all the way across. So thank you.
Well, I would just share that I was also just impressed with the buddy thing. That's a mentor thing. It's very interesting to hear that that wasn't a thing before you guys started. Kind of feel like it makes sense to have a support system for new hires and people. And then the bilingual pay incentive, that is incredibly impressive, I think. I interviewed at a lot of different places when I was coming out of college, and that would have changed things. So very interesting. So great presentation. Thank you.
I would agree. The bilingual thing is neat. I'm glad to hear that. But I have a couple questions. One, how large is the group, in general, and how often does it rotate, or does it ever rotate people?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we have about 9 members, and people stay on as long as they'd like to stay on. It's not like a term limit or anything like that. Anyone's welcome to join too. So I mean, we have 275 employees. So ideally, we'd love a rep from every department, which we don't have a rep from every department. Like right now, we don't have anyone from fire. We did at one point. So yeah, I mean, it's not set in stone who's on it. People are welcome to come and go as they please. And we meet once a month. Yep.
Okay. And one other question. We talked about the flag, the raising of the flag. So I have a question. Is your team in charge of raising of the flag? The layout, the policies related to the flags?
Not the policy. So the mayor sets the policy on the flag. So she has a flag guideline that she adheres to and that she shared with ERG, because we try to work with educating or notifying employees when the pride flag is going up or the Juneteenth flag. But the mayor gets to make that call as far as when she wants to put it up and how long it's up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Good question.
I have a question. So it sounds like, of the 275 employees, both amazing, 9 people, but also only 9 people. Is there anything maybe that we could do with you or support you in any way in like recruiting more folks, or just like maybe there's ways we can communicate each other's initiatives to our constituents?
I mean, it's meant to be for employees.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't want to answer, I'm going to share the space here. I'm sorry. So yeah, have we talked about recruiting new members? Sarah, you had some ideas about how to recruit new members.
I think it's always evolving, right? And I think it can be difficult sometimes because it's any ideas would be welcome, I guess.
I do have some ideas.
Because
yes.
it can be, it's new and so, yeah, if there's ideas are great, but I think it's just, helping people to understand what we really do, which can be hard. Sometimes it's, yeah.
I would say my time at City of Seattle, so the work is around culture, right? And how do we shift culture that is more inclusive? And it's also been politicized, right? So we're in a time that's kind of weird, right, around the work. But I think there's ways to incentivize, and then to be cautious of. There's pitfalls in the work that are inherent, and just being cognizant of that this should be additional work, but we should also be recognized for that, and it should be recognized as important work. Again, as a civil servant, the benefit of the work is for everyone, so making sure that that's loud and clear. But we had awards at Seattle City Light, so we had a DEI award that went out for individuals that had significant movement. There was a group award. There's ways of recognizing. Those don't always bring in people. That sometimes will bring in backlash too. So it's just thinking about ways of recognizing the importance of work, and that if you're doing the work, there's not a high cost to it. So, and recognizing at the City of Seattle, there were times where if you didn't have a department head that was supportive, it could be politicized, and then you were you're kind of on a target. So that can happen in large systems. I would say less likely in a small municipality, but you never know. And it's just being cautious and very real about the work, its cost, and also the benefit, and recognizing the benefit.
Even just communicating, I guess, like the bilingual incentive, like in an onboarding process, like that kind of thing, and like just a note to be like, that was brought to you by ERG.
Yeah.
We do a
You know,
plugin.
stuff like that.
We have a plugin with all our new hires.
Okay, great.
Where we have like a whole
Yes.
a sheet we give them about the ERG, when we meet, where we meet, and then who the members are, what we've done, and then we of course talk about a bilingual incentive, because we want to make sure if you're eligible for it, you're getting that extra pay.
For sure.
Yeah, good. It's good idea.
You talk marketing.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. If you
Oh, sorry.
All right. A couple just questions about specifics. Is there something specific that you're working on right now that you think that we could help support or be a part of in some way? I'm just wondering how we can link our committee, since it seems like we have so many of the same interests overall, even though I know we're different. That's part of my first question, and then I guess, just how can we work together more closely? I guess I didn't realize, is there a place that we can get an agenda, Sarah, and things like that you're doing that we can always kind of be aware of too as we're doing our work? And I know what the other question was. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. What are your expectations for a committee like ours? Do you have any? I mean, what are your thoughts? I'm just curious about where you think, because we're new, and I'm sure there's, internally there's a lot of different feelings and different ways people are thinking about us, and so be honest. What are your thoughts? I mean, what is it? Can I?
To answer your first question, and this is just my opinion, and I want to pass it on,
Yeah.
but we've been really toying with these listening sessions and how to initiate conversation that's productive, and what do we do with all of these results, and we've been talking about having a third-party person come facilitate it, and not having management part of those listening sessions, and employees feel like it's a safe space. But if you have any experience with facilitating those types of conversations and how to keep them on track, and then what do you do with all of those results, and how do you make sure employees don't feel upset about after, you meet with them and now what have you done? You haven't done anything with what I've shared with you, So if you have experience with that, we would love input on best practices with that.
Yeah, well, one of the best practices is, if you're going to do a listening session, you've got to be prepared to put something, that's what you're hearing, to do something with what you're getting back from employees. Because the worst thing you want to do is do a listening session and they give you all these thoughts, suggestions, and ideas, and nothing happens. That right there kills, the enthusiasm about it. But I would suggest one thing, and perhaps you've already done this. How about doing a employee mixer or a reception, and then you guys do a presentation as you just did for us, for people to hear it. You hear what you do, to learn more about it, just kind of to get together and socialize a little bit, but also learn at the same time. And maybe that way you can recruit some people as well. Just a thought.
Hey, Janice, when you said that, I envision the employee resource group and the equity committee all together in one meeting with as many staff who wants to be there. So we can talk about the internal and external work and then just garner some interest. I mean, I think there's also an opportunity now that we have a GARE membership to think about promoting some of the trainings in GARE. And also, I think, we're not a little island doing this work. We're one of many municipalities here in Dane County, across the country, that are engaged in the work. Even though we have political weirdness around it, we're still doing the work. And so I think it demystifies, I think, if we can do something like that. I think the other part of that is like transparency too. I think this is good practice. Just once you have those listening sessions, your results are transparent, and then you've identified work groups to start unpacking what the strategy will be to address an issue, and then you're tracking it too transparently. Like, here's our report this year, next year, on our progress. That's helpful at the school district.
So what's at the core of your listening session, Sarah? What are you looking for?
Well, we're going to try to address our lowest scores on our workplace culture survey. So we actually have, I think one of the results was I don't feel like I'm involved in decisions that impact me. That was one of the low scores. But we want to keep it related to DEI because that is our focus as an ERG. So we're trying to stay away from the action planning that's going on.
Yeah.
And another level with engagement score. So we've crafted some DEI focused questions related to the workplace culture survey. But we have to work through. We have to figure out, do we have the capacity and the time to get these sessions and then be able to do something with the results? And that's what is holding it up.
Yeah.
Just two quick things, kind of going off of what you just said. My one big piece of advice is like to have a communication plan and strategy afterwards. So transparency is super important, and just having a plan of like, how are you going to report back to folks? Even if the reporting back is, this is what we heard, we actually can't do anything about A, B, C, and D. Like saying that out loud and saying why you can't do it, but that you heard it and that it's on the agenda for next year or whatever. Like, I think sometimes people feel like either the communication back like doesn't happen because people are busy and it just doesn't happen. And just like Janice said, like it'll make it so that people will feel worse afterwards. But then the other thing that happens is people feel like they only report back like successes, and that's great, you should do that. But also if there are things you can't do, letting people know, like you still heard it and these are the constraints that you're trying to work through and this is how they can get involved if they want to be part of that process. And then the other thing is like I do quite a lot of listening sessions through my work, so if you want to meet outside of this, I'm happy to chat with you all about anything.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'll also add that so I work at the university, our division has long done a pulse survey, and it's just a one question every week, and it's based on the broader survey questions. So if there's questions that you can ask over and over, then you get a baseline, and then you can kind of see where the trend lines happen, because one survey is one snapshot in time, and what did that question really mean? So it is nice to track it. It's something that you can honestly set up through Google and have it automate, so you can kind of hands off at some point, and that might be something like after a listening session thing. Maybe you'll get more questions or more things to ask.
The ERG was able to get software for 2 years. It's called Quantum Workplace, and that's what we use for our engagement. And then that's how they created the workplace culture survey. So we only have it through the rest of this year.
Yeah.
So
I'd be happy to kind of show you how that works too.
I appreciate that.
Can I reword my second part that I sent my question before? I think I have a different way of asking it. So as a group, we're trying to figure out where we are as far as our communication to employees as well as the community, and how much there is out there that people know about us, that we don't really know where we stand sometimes as far as how far, or not how far, how much people really know that we're a committee and why we're a committee and what our mission and vision is, things like that. We haven't sat around with other employees that often, so has it been communicated to you that you are aware of what we do and why we're a presence now, based on what the mayor, since she started the committee and things like that?
That person asked because I know. So I think we know, but since you guys are so new, it's probably still like, oh, okay, I think more exposure, would be helpful, but because it's only your first full year of being official, right? So I think it's just one of those things where sometimes when that happens, it just kind of, flies under the radar, but that's okay. do something to a feature or something, you know? Yeah.
I think we're still learning how we're supposed to interact with you.
Yeah.
You know, for example, you know, we put together a lot of plans and, you know, and I do all the tree planting in the city and we are working really hard on trying to get trees equitably distributed in the city. And we're doing, every year for the last several years, we've been doing a lot of planting in our healthy neighborhoods. Is that something I invite, you know, I engage with you guys on or not? It's we just don't really know. So, and maybe, you know, right now we're working on kind of getting that data together to show to tree advisory. Maybe we should show it to you as well. And we just don't really always know, do we ask in your agenda or not, or what, or where that, is that appropriate? So I think we're just kind of learning, because I think we're doing a lot of the work that you guys would appreciate, but it's just really hard for us to know as employees, like, when do we engage with you or not, or what's the appropriate way to do that?
And that's something we're working on establishing now.
We'll be talking about that today.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. Thank you though for that.
So can I ask a question? It's just a question. You made a reference to the healthy neighborhood. So now you got me a little bit confused here. My understanding is as the BRG, you really are focusing on employees within the city hall, within the building, so to speak, all the employees. But are you saying that you now also do work out in healthy neighborhoods?
Not as ERG, not as ERG. The question just was, just addressing the question, what is the employee's expectation of this group? And I was just answering that we're still figuring that out. And I just used the working in healthy neighborhoods as an example. From your
thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
I think also some employees who may not have a direct link with committees or commissions, like I would never have a direct link just because I'm not a staff contact, for example, don't know maybe if there's something that they're working on where they would come and connect with any given committee or commission unless, you know, of course they talk to their department or whatever. So I think it's one of those things too where some employees may just not know how to connect with you guys just because of, you know, just that small little, not a routine interaction with the committee of commission because of our position. So once we know and can establish, those connections can be opened up more, I think.
Do you all have a chair? Or is it Sarah? Sarah, okay. So Sarah is in this meeting every month as well. So we, I think if there's opportunities definitely for us to meet more frequently, it'd be great. And I think, you know, of course you can always watch FACTv and see what we've talked about in the past. But I think that's information. But the question I have is, do you have questions for us about what we're doing in our initiatives and anything that we've done to date?
What are your guys' goals for this year?
Lined out.
What's that? We should have. Anyone can jump in.
Go ahead, Chris. You've got the best.
So, no, we do have mission, vision, values that we put together as an ad hoc committee, and we'll be talking a little bit about that today. We just recently put together a draft equity rubric. So one thing that we've been asked as a committee is that large plans that the city's considering department-wide, that we have a lens and we can look at it and give feedback. And so we said, okay, well, where do we start with that? Like, what's the foundation? So rather than just giving anecdotal kind of feedback, we developed a tool that we want to really give some metrics to and give some, hopefully, some good feedback that can be measured and weighed. And I think there's another initiative too within that. There's an introduction process of like understanding what it is and applying it. As department leaders come to us and say, here's our plan, what are your thoughts? We're going to gather some feedback. We want them to also have that rubric as a starting place. We're all the same starting place. They understand what we're looking at and how we're going to measure. We're hoping that in the future that those that rubric could be used as an early application as plans are being developed. But other things that we have been working on, like working with Sarah to look at GARE and having a GARE membership as a resource for employees and for us as well, to establish really what it means to apply an equity analysis and equity tools across municipality. What are some other things? We established, our first action was to establish a land acknowledgement for the city of Fitchburg for any new property. And then what else? Hoji was kind of an initiative too, the naming process.
Proclamations that you've drafted that'll be coming out for Juneteenth and Pride Month.
Yeah, so we're drafting language for proclamations as well, as some things, but again, we're kind of figuring things out as we move forward, but we want to be productive, and also we want to make sure that when people come to this group, that they feel it's safe and that it's even playing field, that we're not going to inundate them with questions that haven't been thought of, like that's not fair, and we want to give them productive feedback that benefits any plan, that doesn't have to go back to the drawing board 100%, but rather here's some just thoughts, and that that we're friendly, we won't fight, but it's for the benefit, again, and that civic kind of benefit to everyone. So please jump in, committee. Other thoughts?
Well, we've done a lot. I mean, obviously, when we were a formal committee, we had a lot of discussions about just all kinds of things related to equity and related to diversity and culture, and we looked at some of the different plans that the city has had, but nothing was official. We were really, for a whole year, just really getting to know each other in a sense, but also getting to know what can our role be? And I think we finally, since there's been a lot of attrition through our committee, we've finally figured out, okay, we've got this mission and vision now that's very solid and really a part of us. And it feels really good to have that. Now, what's next? So then the next step was, okay, let's put together a way that we can use a rubric. We decided on a rubric, like Chris said, to evaluate in a sense, not evaluate in a personal sense, or a way that maybe evaluate's the wrong word, to take a look at it and just highlight different things that are in the plans for the city that may be affected by community equity, and things of that nature. So I think we're just still getting our feet wet and still trying to figure some things out. But we're anxious to hear, what's going on, and I think communication again, and what we were talking about, listening sessions before, is a big part of what we need to continue to do. So,
Question about the listening sessions: are those also will those be available only internally to employees or parts of commissions, committees?
Just employees.
Okay. Janice.
Yes.
Since you're online, I'm going to ask you a question. Is there anything that you wanted to add about us?
No. Well, let me ask you. Yeah, while I know you guys do programs, what have you, I do a lot of work over at the Senior Center, as someone had indicated. For example, that got Juneteenth program coming up on the 17th, and with flyers and what have you. Now, I would hope, and I believe Sarah does this, flyers and what have you. Would you guys distribute stuff to employees to ensure that employees know about all the different things that's being planned throughout the city? Juneteenth, the Pride, if there's a flyer for whatever event. Is that something that we would definitely come to you guys and you all can distribute stuff like that?
Absolutely. Sarah
Versus just putting up.
Yeah, that's something that I tend to do. I'll usually put up in a display and we'll email all the staff. It's also on the department as well to make sure that they're putting it out. So it's a collaborative effort, but yes, there are plans to have something out by next Monday if Canva comes back.
Okay, good. Good. Thank you. Yeah, because that that for the upcoming Juneteenth thing, it's going to be quite a program. And for example, the songstress, she's a Fitchburg resident. So this I just hope to work together and stuff like that, because I have a tendency to put together different programs. Coming out of the senior, being over at the Senior Center, whether it's Black History Month, whether it's Hispanic History Month, et cetera, et cetera. And so I think it would be real helpful to ensure that all employees have an opportunity to at least know what's happening throughout the city. I found that the posters get plastered certain places, but not everybody knows. I hear people say to me, "Oh God, I didn't even know about that afterwards," that kind of thing. But now with the communication through Jeremy as well, the word will spread even more. So thank you. I'm just curious about that.
Do you manage social media like Facebook and other stuff for the city? Okay.
That's all Jeremy and Lisa.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is there an employee newsletter?
Yeah, Sarah actually
Okay,
manages
so
that.
there's a place to put email
Yes.
blasts kind of stuff in it.
Can we get a copy of that when it comes out and make sure that our members?
That would be neat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you
That
wanted
would
to
be
do an
helpful.
intro to employees about what
Sure.
you are, what you're about, that would be a great avenue.
I'll draft some things into the group.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I want this meeting to go on forever because it's great to have you here. But we do have a few other business things that we do need to get through tonight. And you're welcome to stay. You're welcome to provide feedback if you want. But we'll be voting on a few items that we're looking at. So thank you so much for the work again that you're doing. We really appreciate you coming. And we hope that you can join us for other meetings. Of course, they're public meetings, so we'd love to have you join us and provide feedback. But any last parting things before we move to the next agenda item?
No, it's great to meet you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thanks for all the
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
I'm sure we'll see you guys soon at the flag raisings.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Have a good rest of your meeting.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was nice meeting all of you. Yeah.
Good to meet you as
Thanks
well.
for your time.
Thank you so much.
Hope to see you all again. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to move on to agenda item 4, letter D, the equity tool document work and discussion. So this is our equity rubric that we've been working on. Before we move on to any kind of comments, I do want to just share for the work group that met outside of our normal meetings for their feedback and work on this. We had a robust conversation and lots of back and forth, and just want to share. And then everyone had an opportunity to provide feedback through email, so just so that we're aware of how the process worked. So thank you everyone for your time outside of this normal meeting to do that. And then Sarah, can you pull up the?
Yep, this is it right here.
Great.
This is the final one.
I have some hard copies too, if anybody is
great.
interested. That sometimes that's helpful.
I'm just curious, before we get started on this, if we only have a very short period of time left, and I really would hate to see us not give this the full attention it needs.
Sure.
And we have the other proclamations and stuff, which are probably more time sensitive to like approve.
Sure.
So I was just thinking maybe we need to switch gears and do that first.
Okay.
And then I
Sure.
totally open to objections, but I just know we were limited on time.
Want to take a motion to table the rubric?
Why don't we table it? And just a clarifying question too, is there a way, if we want to continue moving this forward, can we do this offline outside of the meeting through communication like email?
No, we have to
No.
take action in a public meeting.
Okay.
Right.
Let's do the
Let's-
flag raising.
I'll move to
Okay.
postpone. Okay, just do that.
Second?
That needs a second, yeah.
Is there a second to postpone the rubric for now and move on to the proclamations?
No second?
All right.
No.
All right. Then we can
All right, rubric it up.
Okay.
Well, I'll just say it, we put a lot of work and time
Okay.
into this. I'm
Yeah.
not sure I'm really in favor of being
I
honest, to
believe
be
we can
honest.
get through both the rubric
Okay.
and
Wow.
proclamations in 10 minutes, so
Yeah.
11 minutes.
I don't know if you had a chance to review.
I
it.
do, I did.
You did?
Okay.
Okay, so
Is
if
that
you
why you're
did,
like, we need more time?
yeah,
Then we
I'm
can-
good, you've got my feedback, so.
Yes, you've had all my feedback.
So I do have one piece of feedback that Colleen did provide, and I'm going to pull that up. Actually, can I take over?
Oh, yeah, of
Let me take
course.
over real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
And for should I just read it?
Just read it.
Okay, I'll read it because I don't,
Time
time crunch. So within the section on ratings, so the current statement and if you want to pull it up, Sarah, as I'm talking, that'd be great. So in the scoring section, it currently says each category is scored 1 to 4. The scoring measures the degree to which equity considerations are demonstrated and integrated, recognizing that not every category must be fully exemplary to meet expectations. The recommended update by Colleen was this. Each category is scored 1 to 4. The scoring measures the degree to which equity considerations are demonstrated and integrated. Recognize that most categories do not need to be exemplary to meet expectations. Slight change.
Yeah.
Do you want to speak to that?
Mostly just the exemplary examples are exemplary, like they're actually like aspirational, and I would be nervous for employees to think that they're all supposed to get all 4s, and so that's why I thought maybe shifting it like really when we say 4, we actually mean like you are above and beyond, which when I read that, I don't expect people to many people to get there straight out of the gate. So that's my suggestion is I just to level set with people, kind of the same when you're doing personnel evaluations, right? Like everybody wants to be exceptional, and if everyone's exceptional, then everyone's average, right? So like just helping people level set for that.
Second.
All right, thank you.
So I'm not going to take a vote for each one of these. I'll just read through the recommended language, and then I'll take one vote for that, if that works for everyone. Okay. So the rubric row for equity outcomes. First top row on the rubric. I'm waiting for Sarah to catch up. Right here, very top, number 1. It's really for consistency in language, and we use equity outcome and equity or well-being, and there's another term here within how it's stated, so.
It's already fixed in this one.
Okay.
Sorry, I was looking at the one that was in the agenda packet.
Yep, I'm using the final version
Okay.
that you sent out on
Great.
Friday.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Which is different than the agenda
Yes,
packet?
the
Okay.
agenda packet was.
Disregard.
This
our
is the
agenda.
final, this is the hard copy I wrote,
Okay.
it is the final.
Okay, you already did the
One that
thing.
Chris sent.
Thank you, Chris.
Done, it's already done.
Cool, so those,
Moving right along.
so I'll take, sounds like we have a motion to approve the recommended language for the rating or the scoring. Can I get a second?
Second.
And all those in motion, or all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Great, so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and update that language to the final document that Sarah has opened right now. And I'll open for 2 minutes. Final comment on the equity rubric as is with that addendum or that edit. If folks like how it is, I would take a motion to approve the rubric.
I would so move to approve the rubric the way it is.
Second, is there any discussion?
Just want to check in with the folks that haven't been part of the subgroups to ask them.
I don't mean to rush
So
it.
Chase and Janice.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the middle of a whole thing, so, but I was just gonna, I think I was a little confused on how we were gonna handle making changes to this. Like, I don't know, I guess most of it happened offline, and that's completely fine. I actually like the version we have here. I was just expecting there to be a lot more. I just want to put it on the record.
Okay.
I thought there was going to be a lot more discussion about this in person rather than offline communication, but that's okay. I'm not upset about that in any way, shape, or form.
And just to confirm, we didn't have a walking quorum, it was less than the number of people.
Yes.
I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, I just wanted
Yeah.
for.
I just thought the process for this was going to
Sure.
That's it.
That's fair.
So, and I also was not at the last meeting.
I was gonna
so
say, I feel
it's
like we
on
did
both
talk
of
about
us.
it quite a bit
We
last
did,
time.
yes,
Yeah.
so it's okay. I understand.
So let me just clarify too how this rolled out, and this will be kind of how we move things forward, so we don't have walking quorum. If there's a work group and we work on a document, and I'm sorry this wasn't clear before and I didn't follow up with you, my intent was we would work on it as a group, create a final draft and send it out to each committee member without a walking quorum through that communication to provide feedback. And then we would take those final
That's what I,
pieces here.
yeah,
So,
that makes sense based on how it was.
but if there's something really pressing,
Yeah, no.
please share.
No, I actually don't have any major concerns, not enough to hick it up, so.
Janice, I see you've got a thought?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
I was reading your forehead, and it looked like you had.
No, I
Okay. That happens for me sometimes. So,
But I think, did you have a question?
No, I call it questions
Oh, okay.
because I want to vote.
okay.
All right.
So unless there are any other points of discussion, are there any objections? If not, we have adopted our rubric. And reminder, this is not set in stone, so this will change.
Yeah.
This is our first rubric, and we will change this as we need. So, but at least we have a tool now that we can use as I'm sweating, why am I sweating? If we look at different plans, and we can also provide this information as leaders come to us with their plans to know how we're reviewing different initiatives and plans.
Is this also now as a draft going to be shared with Common Council? Is that like a next step?
That's a great question. I'm going to defer to Sarah.
We'd have to add it to the agenda. It's not a bad idea. And then we'd want the team to be there to share and explain what it is. And yeah, I think it's a great idea. We'll just find availability for everybody and then we can get you on one of the agendas coming up.
That'd be great. So we have 4 minutes, and would like to switch gears to the proclamations, and that is, I can follow my agenda, would be
I can share it in the packet too.
agenda item number 4, and these are letter C. So this is for Pride Month and Juneteenth proclamations, and these are not related necessarily to the flag raising. Those are separate pieces, but we were asked to draft some language, or at least consider for the city to consider. So again, this went out to all committee members to provide feedback, and I can take a motion to approve both, or, okay,
Seconded.
okay, seconded. And all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, aye as well.
Can I confirm that
Yes.
the ones in the packet are, there were no updates? Did anyone respond to you with any edits for
No.
either of them? Okay, perfect.
And so that passes unanimously. Great. We did it. Congratulations. So we've got a rubric and 2 proclamations. And again, these proclamations are feedback to the mayor and to the city, and they may be different. So just so that we're clear, they may not be exactly how we presented or recommend. So just so we're clear on that. Last agenda item, D, standing items or current events. So we'll open the floor. We got, go
Can I
ahead.
go back to the flag raising?
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Pride flag will be Monday at 3:30 p.m.
For Pride, for June 1st, yeah.
3:30, I think it is. Is it
3:30,
3:30, that's
Yeah,
what I thought.
sorry, 3:30.
out front of City Hall.
Okay.
And then Juneteenth flag. Could we discuss when we want to raise that flag?
Yeah, actually, I have a question in general about the flag raising. I know that, earlier, well, you and I, Sarah, have talked a little bit about this, but earlier you said, yeah, it's the mayor who decides in terms of flag raising, the policy, etc. But I saw the emails back and forth from the mayor who you were saying, well, do we really want to leave it over the weekend? And she said she doesn't have a problem with that. And then there was some discussion about the flags being up all month, or the flags being up at the same time, that there were some problems. So can you elaborate on that? I think there needs to be some clarity about the flags. What's the issue behind, number one, both of them being up, at the same time, or being up longer than just a week?
Absolutely.
I guess when I look at that, if we're putting that flag, if we're saying that this is important, then but we're only saying, oh, but we're only going to leave it up for 5 days. To me, that sends a very mixed message. So that's just my thoughts on that in general for both of them.
Yeah, good question, Janice. It was 2 or 3 years ago we raised the Pride flag and the Juneteenth flag on the same day. It was June 1st, so we thought we'd put them both up for the full month. We had the event all at the same time, so it wasn't like a separate Juneteenth raising and a separate Pride flag raising. There were some concerns from people about how we did that, and so Mayor put together a flag guideline, and it basically states how long we'll have the Pride flag up, how long we'll have the Juneteenth flag up, and the Juneteenth flag she has just for a week. I did talk with her, and she, the Senior Center has that great event on June 17th, and so she did say if we want to raise the flag either before or after that event and keep it up for the rest of the month, we could do that if that would be okay with the ERG. But I think her flag guidelines were supposed to be an internal guide for her and for the city for that matter, on when we put flags up. It's not set in stone, so if the CAC decides, hey, I think you really should put this up on June 1st, I think you just got to give that recommendation to the mayor. But she's open to either before or after the Senior Center event was what she had recommended. But if you feel like it should be sooner, we could talk to the mayor about that.
Yeah, well, here's just a couple things. And 3 years ago, we didn't have an equity committee. We didn't have people really looking at it from that lens. So that's one thing for me. And then second of all, yes, I'm just as concerned about the Pride flag as well as I am about the Juneteenth flag. And I just think from my perspective, if we're saying those things are very important to us, then we need to walk or talk, so to speak. I also think, where's the flag for Hispanic History Month? What's happening with that? I think 3 years ago, things changed, and we're at a different space, in a different spot here in the city of Fitchburg. And I think perhaps that's time to take a look at some things, and do we need to make some adjustments and what have you. So, my event over at the Senior Center doesn't start until the 17th. And actually, the 19th is actual Juneteenth Day, really. But I really think that we need to take a look at the message that we're sending.
But there's also, Janice, so you're aware too, and I don't know the rest of the committee, there will be an LGBTQ plus event at the Senior Center on the 18th as well, which I am promoting along with PFLAG as well as outreach. So we're having them 2 days simultaneously, the 17th and the 18th. So, I would just say as a committee, I think we need to say those flags should be put up June 1st and stay up the month, at minimum the month.
I absolutely agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more.
So this is a phenomenal conversation, and I think our neighbor to just the west, city of Fitchburg, has a policy as well around flags, and they actually have courts across the city that many of the flags remain up throughout the year. So I think we need to have a deeper conversation. For this month, I would recommend that as well. Do we want to take a vote in regards to a recommendation for both Juneteenth and Pride flag for the month as a recommendation to the mayor for this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll take a motion.
Yes.
I'll take a motion.
I think a motion that we raise the flag for the Pride event and the flag and the Juneteenth flag and leave it up for the month of June.
Second that motion.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much, Janice, for the question, and Sarah for making sure that we covered that. I'm going to move quickly to adjournment since we're running past time and there's other people that need the airwaves. Janice, great to see you, and thank you for all the work that you're doing for the month for Juneteenth and everything at the Senior Center.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And
yeah. Hey, did you go to DOC today, to the Department of Civil Rights event?
I did not. No, I did not.
I did. I looked for you.
Why'd you ask me? Thank you for the call.
There were a lot of people. I just thought I missed you, but there were a lot of people there. It was a really good event. Yeah, yeah.
Been busy.
It was a good event.
But no, I should have gone to that one. Thank you. Thank you, Janice, and committee members. Please do share the upcoming events to your social media to get the word out, so that we make sure that, unlike the event I missed today, that we're showing up for those two. But I'll take a motion to adjourn for our meeting today.
I'll move to adjourn.
And second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Thank you, Janice. Great to see you.
Good to see you guys too.
You too.
Good to see you. Yeah. Hey, Bill, are you interested in